This is Off the Ice, the Nanaimo Clippers Hockey Show on 106.9 The Wolf. With the latest news on the Clippers and the BCHL, here's Dan Marshall.
It is Off the Ice, the Clippers Hockey Show. As the month of January rolls along, the trade deadline is over. The Nanaimo Clippers now have the group they are moving forward with. And was there ever a lot to talk about last week? Illness through the team, new players. Also, two very tough games against Powell River and Victoria, not the results that the Clippers wanted. And then this week, a playoff-type atmosphere, to be sure. In the Nanaimo-Alberni Valley, back-to-back games, a home-and-home series. The two teams that are battling it out right now for the final playoff spot in the Island Division. Nanaimo has a 1-point lead going into a critical series. We'll talk about all of these things with the head coach and general manager, Mike Vandekamp, in just a moment. Also, we're going to be joined by two of the very newest Clippers in Marcus Joseph and Ben Taylor. Let's bring in the head coach and general manager of the Clippers right now. Coach, so much going on last week. The trade deadline, transactions being made, new players arriving, illness going through the team. Two games against very tough opponents with very different storylines as they came to a conclusion. As you try and put everything into a capsule from what happened last week, where do you go and how do you put it in that capsule?
Well, it was definitely a whirlwind, that's for sure. It was a busy week for us. The trade deadline was a busy couple of days, really, as we tried to just better our team and address some needs if we could. So it was definitely a busy time with that, and obviously we did make a couple of changes, and we made a couple leading up to the trade deadline as well, a few days prior to it. So, and then getting a couple guys back from injury, and then a couple guys were playing that were kind of hurt, and then, like you said, there was a lot of flu, and even worse than flu now, we got some guys that are a little bit more even serious than that type of illness stuff going around. So, it's a whirlwind of a week, but I thought the Thursday game in Victoria, I thought we played a pretty good hockey game. Made a couple of mistakes, and they capitalized on the mistakes, and we just struggled offensively, to capitalize on some of the chances that we had. But overall, we outshot them in their building. I thought we played a pretty good hockey game and felt good going into Friday. We had a good first period on Friday. It was 0-0 after one against a good, hot team and a good team. And I thought we were, playing fairly well, but we just... obviously, everything came off the rails in the second period, and it seemed like we couldn't stop the bleeding fast enough. And, when a good team smells a little bit of blood and gets a little bit of momentum, they can be hard to play against. And we're a little bit more to the fragile side right now, and that's one of the biggest problems that we have is just, if we get down a little bit, it's been tough on our team in the last little while. And so you saw one team playing with confidence and one without, and that's why the second period ended up going the way that it did.
You talked about how much you wanted to have a full week of practice with this new group. Day one of that was today. Talk about why that's so important this week to have 4 days with the group, and explain a bit how day one with this new group, working with it really for the first time, actually went.
Well, I think it's important to try to, maybe set some lines up front and try to start to build a little bit of chemistry with some line mates, deep pairings as well. We've got a plan for all 4 days of, a different approach to each of those days when it comes to our practice plan and what we're going to go out on the ice and work on. But even today, we had 3 guys that weren't there today. So, and that's the tough part right now for us is it's hard to work with your whole team when you don't have everybody there. And, so it's distracting a little bit that way. It'd be nice to have all hands on deck because, I think it just makes it better for everybody. But today, our focus was really to start off with, to be really focused on just the things that we can control. We can't control bronchitis or tonsillitis or strained knee ligaments or whatever. I mean, we can't control those things, but we can control our attitude when we wake up in the morning. We control how hard we work in the gym and with our workout this morning, and we can control our enthusiasm for practice and our focus in practice and our work ethic in practice. And so, we try to be as good as we can with those things and I think that's the attitude that we want to have. Today's practice was spent a little bit more in this. We'd had 2 days off, so we skated a lot today. We had a lot of grinding. We worked a lot on our defensive game, our down low game, and the grinding side of the game. And as the week progresses, we're going to spend a lot of time on transition and special teams and 5-on-5 play, and just every day I think you're a little better team as you head into the weekend.
One of the themes, and it's been one that makes you go crazy, I know, in the past 2 games, but really we've seen this at other times throughout the course of the season, is giving up goal and then giving up another really fast goal, which just changes the whole dynamic of the game. And for us that have never been on a junior hockey bench, and it's, I don't think, easy to say what happens after every goal against, but typically after a goal against, what happens on the bench? Does the coaches just let the players figure it out? Do the coaches bark instructions and try and bark corrections right away? Do the coaches say, hey, come on, boys, let's go? Take us through what happens after a goal against, because everyone I know after the second goal against will go, oh, come on, the guys weren't with it. What happened? What's going on back there? But give us an idea what does happen after a goal against. And then is there anything that you might want to do differently after goals against to prevent that from happening, or even can you?
Well, some of it's out of your control, especially as coach. You wish you could control everything, but it depends on the situation, Dan, a little bit, I think, and what the mindset of your team is, and how you've been playing, and a lot of factors play into that. Because I think if you've been playing real well and you've been winning games, you might get scored on first or something like that in a game, and the confidence will not waver even a tiny bit. And you might not even have to say anything or very little. A famous line that will be heard is, we had to score one to win anyway, so we had to score a goal as it is. So it doesn't really matter, and you sort of shake it off and you keep going. I think when you're a little more fragile and maybe not as mentally tough as you need to be, which I think our team still needs a lot of work in, it's a little bit of a different scenario. I think you want to try to make sure that everybody is staying up and not shrugging their shoulders, and body language is a big thing. So I think you're asking your guys to get back up on their feet, keep their chins up, and obviously you try to learn from maybe the mistake that happened or the play that the other team made very quickly. Like we try to correct an error as quickly as we can. I think a move that generally happens probably at all levels of hockey is usually the players that were on the ice tend to come off of the ice, because I think there's always a time that you want to get those guys off and sort of at least regroup and get over the mistake or whatever that happened, and get some fresh troops on the ice. And really it's all about trying to win the next shift. We talk a lot about the shifts after a goal, whether it's our goal or the other team's goal. The shift after a goal is a really important shift, because the game is built around momentum, and just because the other team scored a goal, it doesn't necessarily mean that the momentum is, can't be put right back in your own favor, or sometimes it could have been in your favor the whole time, and they just happened to get one shift and they got a little bit of a bounce or a play that happened the wrong way, and you have to trust momentum and you have to trust the process. So you try to get your players back on that track as fast as you can.
You're playing one team twice. You have the whole week to prepare, and it's a massive implication weekend in the standings. It has a playoff feel to it. Does your preparation change this week because of the magnitude of the points, who you're playing, the fact that you have only one team in a week?
Maybe a little bit more specific to the opponent. Maybe in our later on in the week discussions, I would say yes. This week might have a little bit more of a feel that would be like the week leading up to the playoffs, sort of. Not necessarily in the routine. Our routine on a week like this has been fairly much the same, with our workouts and our schedule and our practices, but I think maybe just a little bit of the specifics going into the weekend, and obviously 6 periods against the same team, and it doesn't necessarily matter that it's, what's at stake. You try not to get too caught up in that. It's 2 big games. Even if it was against somebody else right now, for us, all of the games are big. It just so happens that it's against the guys that we're closest to in the standings. But there's other teams in the standings right now that can be caught as well, and you just want to get points. I mean, who knows? Maybe the two teams that are playing this weekend both make the playoffs. There's a lot of hockey still to be played. So, is the whole season coming down to this weekend? No. Is it the playoffs already? No, it isn't. But are they important games? Of course they are. And we're just going to try to be as consistent as we can and try to get healthy and just keep the attitude as positive as possible and just have a good week.
I don't want to overstate the importance of the games, but you just have to look at the standings to see how important this weekend is. I just get this feeling, and I was thinking about it a lot on the weekend and a lot about it today, that if the Nanaimo Clippers could come through this weekend and take 4 points, I think it sets up everybody inside and outside the organization to look at the rest of the season differently. And you don't want to put the weight of the world on 2 games, but I feel that success this weekend maybe allows everybody inside and out to do that. Is that overstating it?
Well, I think we have no choice, right, Dan? I mean, we're in now. Like, we're not going anywhere else other than the group that we have. We've burned the boats. We've got only this is all we got. We either fight for survival here or we're not gonna make it to where we want to get to. And the playoffs is where we want to get to, because once you're there, you got an even chance with everybody else. Everybody starts at 0-0. There's been plenty of teams. In fact, the championships that I've won at the junior A level, I've never actually, we never finished first place. So it's actually not something that, is necessary all the time. But you got to get to the playoffs, and then you got a fair chance just like everyone else. So right now it's about fighting for that. And it's a new challenge for our team. The last couple of years we've been, fighting for first place and winning the division. This time around, as we go through a little bit more of a retooling and we have lots of new faces, this time around our challenge is to make the playoffs. It's still a challenge, it's just a different one. And we got to fight through and find a way to achieve our goal. And once we get to the playoffs, then we can, regroup, take what we've learned and try to take a charge from there. But, right now that's all it's about. It's about trying to get some points, make it to the playoffs. And it doesn't matter what happens this weekend one way or the other. We have to fight every single day now, all the way till the end of the season, in order to do everything we can to get there.
Coach, appreciate the time as always, and we'll chat again on Friday.
Thanks a lot, Dan.
He is the head coach and general manager of the Nanaimo Clippers, Mike Vandekamp, joining us here on Off the Ice. So when we come back, you're going to hear from Marcus Joseph and Ben Taylor. We are live on Off the Ice, the Clippers hockey show. Marcus Joseph, Ben Taylor, 2 of the new Clippers, are here to join us to talk hockey. We're going to find out a bit more about them, and we're going to play a game as well, the Audio Vaults. Haven't played this game in a while, and I'm not sure how it's going to go. And the prize today is cold, hard Canadian cash.
Oh, awesome.
I don't know if these guys have ever even had Canadian money yet, or everything's just been done on debit since they've got here. Maybe we'll ask that question later. Let's bring in Marcus Joseph first of all. Marcus, the city, the arena, the hockey club. You haven't been here very long. Are you enjoying the Nanaimo experience?
Yeah, it's awesome. I just got here like a week ago, and I've been enjoying like the sights. I've been out like seeing all the views of like the mountains and water. So it's all been good so far. Yeah, it's been sweet.
What's life been like transitioning to Canada? Is it a lot different or maybe similar to what you expected and have experienced before in the States?
Well, actually, last year I played in Ontario, in Ottawa, so I was kind of used to it. So not that big of an adjustment. It was more of an adjustment last year, but yeah, it's all been good.
That first game, you come on the ice against Cowichan Valley, and the coach said we're going to use you a ton, and he did. What was that first game like?
It was really exciting. Yeah, it was a good time. All good guys. Like, I thought we clicked well together, and yeah, it was a good experience for my first game. I thought I played pretty well. Different playing for the Clippers in the BCHL versus where you'd been in the USHL? Was that a very difficult transition to make? No, both games are pretty similar. Definitely a fast-paced game. A lot of quick guys out there, so yeah, it's pretty similar.
As you come in, you're just trying to get your bearings, I think. But now that you've been here a while and this team is desperate for points and desperate to secure a playoff spot, are you starting to get an idea of what your role's going to be? Yeah, I think so. I think I could bring some offensive
talent to the team. I'm a defenseman, but I mean, sometimes I like joining the rush. So I hope I could bring that to the table.
You had a fantastic game on the Friday, Clippers with a big divisional win. And then on Sunday, I get a text from the coach, a very late one, just so you know, Marcus isn't playing today. Just how sick were you? What happened between Friday and that Sunday game?
I couldn't tell you. After Friday's game, I was fine. And then Saturday, I woke up and just wasn't feeling right. And then, I don't know, out of nowhere, I was just feeling like I had chills, just wasn't good. So I had to tell him I couldn't play. I was dead. And then the next day I was feeling a little better, and I still couldn't get out there though. I had to rest, and then Monday came and I had to practice. I missed it so much already in the last 2 days, so I had to get out there even if I was sick.
So many changes. You're new. Ben beside you here is new. Josh Blanchard coming into the fold just before the games last week.
Yeah.
How challenging was it last week with so much change? The team is so new. You had Lucas Finner coming back from injury, guys coming back from suspension as well. Obviously, the results didn't go well, but talk about the challenges of that week.
I thought it wasn't that big of a difference. I thought we clicked. We had a couple mistakes that we probably shouldn't have made, but I thought all in all, we clicked. We could have been a lot more physical and got our opportunities in the net, but didn't go the way we wanted to. And hopefully after a whole week of practice, we'll have a big weekend coming up.
You don't even have to know anything about Alberni Valley, and it's a great rivalry with Nanaimo. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But you look at the standings. You're 1 point ahead of that team. This is a home-and-home series. The final playoff spot hangs on the balance. I don't think you have to know much about that situation to get excited as a hockey player for what's happening this weekend.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. It's a huge weekend. And we all know that they're 1 point behind us, so we're hoping to come out with the big 4 points and get ready for the weekend after that.
Today was just one day, but you've got another 3 days of practice this week where there's no games in between. There's no trade deadline to mess it up. How much learning do you think is going to happen for you and for everybody this week getting ready?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I know Vandy was saying that we have a new thing every day for practice, so we're all going to work really hard and be ready for the games this weekend.
You referenced playing in Ottawa last year. Just quickly take us through some of your hockey background and some of your career highlights before you got here to Nanaimo.
So last year I played for the Carleton Place Canadians in the CCHL, and we made a pretty good run. We made the RBC Cup and didn't get to where we wanted, but still a good run. And then played for the Youngstown Fams in the USHL this year for half the season, and it was a good time meeting a lot of new guys. It's always good, meeting new guys from different areas, and that didn't work out. And then I heard about Nanaimo, and I got the opportunity to come here, and said yes right away.
Sacred Heart University, all prepared for next year. School marks are all good. Looking forward to that.
Yeah. I can't wait. It'll be a really good time. I've been out of school for 2 years now, so definitely got to refresh my memory a bit.
That's Marcus Joseph. Let's bring in Brent Taylor now to talk about his introduction to Nanaimo and being a Clipper for the first time, getting to Canada, playing for the Nanaimo Clippers, enjoying the city, enjoying the hockey. How's it gone so far?
It's gone well so far. I haven't been here long. It feels like it's been only 2 days, but I've been here for about a little over a week. I'm liking my billets. I'm actually roommates with Matt Creamer, and my billet mom Lenore is very nice, and we don't have cars, so I haven't really gotten to see much, but I've seen some mountains, and that's pretty cool. When I went down to the ocean, I could see snow-capped mountains from the ocean, which was different, which was pretty cool, and I'm liking all the guys in the team and trying to make a run here.
Chipping away with points early on, does that help your confidence?
Yeah, definitely. I had 3 assists in the first 3 games, which was good, but we got to start putting the puck in the net. So hopefully this weekend against Alberni, that will start clicking and keep the ball rolling.
What kind of a player do you think, as you settle into a role, that you can be on this team?
I'm definitely a big right winger, right shot. Gonna be hard in the forecheck. Vandy emphasizes forechecking. So I'm gonna be hard in the forecheck. Gonna shoot the puck as much as I can and play below the goal line and be physical and just try to put up points.
When Mike Vandekamp first met you, he talked about Cam Neely, a player that he just loves, and I think his eyes got all glazed over and he got really excited. And the coach doesn't get that way very often. And as you guys talked about Cam Neely, that's the kind of player that he loves. Is that a kind of player that you can be?
Yeah, definitely. Cam Neely, he was a tough guy to play against. I know for opposing teams, he was physical. He would fight. He would score. Great player. He would always find the back of the net and always get on the point sheet. And he led the Bruins to a lot of success. And so hopefully I can do the same thing here as I settle in.
Is there anybody that immediately you felt, you know what, hey, maybe there's some chemistry with myself and that guy?
I mean, I've been on a different line every game so far.
That's why I asked that, because I'm wondering if anyone stuck out so far.
Yeah, but actually today in practice, Blanchard and Huey, we had a really good practice today. So we gelled today, which, is one of the first real practices I've had here. And so hopefully we'll keep that going for the rest of the week and then into the weekend and translate it to the games.
Mike Vandekamp is always a very positive guy, and I think for fans, everybody's frustrated after an 8-0 loss on Friday night, and everyone just wants to kind of forget it. But as you broke down film, as you looked at the Thursday game, as you looked at the Friday game, what were some of the positive things that the coach wanted you guys to draw on?
The first period was pretty good. It was 0-0. We shot the puck. We were physical. And then in the second period, we let up a couple goals and then kind of got deflated. But then at the very last 5 minutes of the second period, we got it together again, played physical, we're shooting pucks. We need to get the puck deep more over the red line and behind their D to the forecheck. But, I think we got over 30 shots. So, we got to keep shooting, but we need to find the back of the net, take advantage of our opportunities. But, yeah, going forward, that's the biggest thing for us.
What's your excitement level right now about a home-and-home series against an opponent that you don't know yet, but is only 1 point behind you in the standings?
Yeah, I'm really excited, actually. And I know Coach is really excited. I know you can feel it in the locker room. This is a big, huge weekend for us. It's going to be like a playoff atmosphere. And so I'm really excited, actually. And hopefully I can, put a couple in the net, and hopefully we can get 4 points out of the weekend.
From your experience being around the game your whole life, let's be honest, this current group of players right now, there's so many new guys in the mix, hasn't had that shared success together. How important is it for you guys, this team, with everybody on board, to have some success and start to build some chemistry and some memories together as a unit? Yeah,
so, the trade deadline's over, and, this is going to be our team going forward. And I think we're trying to turn the page and really get the ball rolling. And I know everyone, wants to win. We got to buy in, and I think it would be pretty special if, everyone pulled together and we played as a team and started winning games and made a playoff run. I think that's what, everyone wants.
Before you got here, what are your career highlights in the game?
So I played at my local high school in Falmouth in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, all the way back on the East Coast. And then I went to a nearby prep school, Tabor Academy, and played there for 4 years. And that was a really great experience. I was captain my senior year. We made a good playoff run, and I had a lot of fun with my senior graduating class, and that was probably my highlight.
We were talking with Marcus about being out of school for a little while. You're heading to Brown next year. I would imagine that you have to really stay on top of that academic side.
Yeah, definitely. I've been out of school a year, but, I try to read. I try to, keep my mind going a little bit. But hopefully it won't be a bad transition. I'm usually a hardworking student, so hopefully, I'll work hard and be focused, and hopefully it's not too bad. I know it's going to be tough, though.
We're going to play a game, the Audio Vault, and we're going to do that with the prize being a Canadian $5 bill. And this does not count for points, but do you know what color the Canadian $5 bill is?
Green.
Blue.
Blue is correct.
That should be a point.
Actually, we're gonna up the stakes. We're gonna put 10 out there.
Ooh.
We're gonna up the stakes.
There you go.
Now, the reason that we're playing for cash today, because normally we don't play for cash in these games, is because I actually forgot the prize.
That's okay.
So we've upped it. $10 is on the line here. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna play a clip from my phone, the Audio Vault, And you guys are going to, first one to ding in, and don't say anything until I call on you. But the first guy to ding in will get to guess who this person is in the audio vault. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go with audio vault number 1. And we'll try and make sure you can hear this, and I'll play it a couple of times if you can. Here we go. Can you tell me who this person is?
I don't know when this all started, if this is part of the new tactics heading into the playoffs, but it's garbage. And, the game is played on the ice, and
the guys are thinking.
You get all this stuff going on. It really is. It's garbage. So it's nonsense. And
Ben Taylor, that was very soft, but what do you think?
Is it Sidney Crosby?
Sidney Crosby is correct. Here we go. Number 2.
That was someone on the team for a second.
This one is going to be the easiest one, so let's do this one very next.
We will make America great again.
Marcus Joseph.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is correct. Question number 3. This is a best of 7 for you guys. This one is an audio song, okay?
Okay.
So you have to name the singer of this song.
Is it too late now to say sorry?
Marcus Joseph.
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber. That is correct. I don't know if that should be embarrassing that you got that or not, but there you go. Now we're going to move into the world of show business here. This is from a famous movie. Name the actor.
His name is Chancellor. Okay? There's a good chance he's half domesticated. This is Galco, which is Hebrew for kindness.
What about the pup?
The pup is unnamed.
The guys don't know.
Not sure.
I have no idea.
Drawing a blank. That was Will Ferrell, by the
Really?
way.
Oh, is it Will
from
Ferrell?
Step Brothers.
Wow.
Let's go back to the hockey world. This one should be pretty easy.
Joe's a heck of a player, but here's a player popping off about our team, and Joe hasn't won a thing in this league. He could go down as a player, being one of the better players in our league, never to win anything. So what do you
Oh, the guys are confused about the last one.
Oh, man. I don't know.
It's 2-1 Marcus Joseph.
I'm fine with keeping the 2-1 lead. If you guys know anything.
Ben's confused. He thinks he knows, and he does.
Names or the voice sounds really familiar.
Because
I
that's
just can't
John
put it in.
Tortorella.
Yeah,
Really?
It's Torts.
Oh, man. I'm a Columbus fan. I should have known that.
You should have known that. Who's this person?
My wife said, we're going to a Halloween party tonight. And I said, okay, well,
Ben Taylor.
Sounds like Vandy.
That's Mike Vandekamp.
Yeah.
That is
Wow,
correct.
good for you.
This game is tied at 2-2 between you fellas here. All right, so let's go back to the world of show business. And this is the final one. This is 2-2. World of show business.
All right, you people ready to have some fun? You have a basic understanding of differential calculus and at least 1 year about algebraic topology? All right, you people ready to have some fun? You have a basic understanding of differential calculus and at least 1 year
Both
about
guys
algebraic
confused
topology?
I'm no good
I
at
have
show
no
business.
idea.
by the final question.
Who was it?
That was Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory.
Oh,
I don't watch that.
Tie-breaking trivia question. Are you ready? We're going away from the audio vault here. 10 Canadian dollars is on the line for this question. Spencer Heaton played his 200th game as a Clipper on Friday night. Which other member of your team has a chance to hit 200 games before the end of the year in junior hockey? Marcus Joseph.
Josh Blanchard.
That is correct. You have won 10 Canadian dollars
Thank you.
for your knowledge of teammates.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
There
Gentlemen,
you go.
it's a very big weekend of hockey. So let's be responsible with that $10, Marcus.
I will.
Don't get crazy around town. Might even be nice to buy Ben a coffee at some point over the course of the week if you can.
If he's lucky.
Thanks for doing this, guys. Have a great week.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
everything.
Marcus Joseph and Ben Taylor joining us here on Off the Ice.
You've been listening to Off the Ice, the Clippers Hockey Show. Join us again next Monday night at 7 on Nanaimo's Rock, 106.9 The Wolf.